And just kind of finally for you, away from obviously the multi-million pound football clubs who can kind of do a lot to help. I think a lot of people are kind of feeling quite helpless. I know I am, in terms of individually, you feel quite helpless in how can you help yourself with the cause from this many miles away, and kind of feeling a bit like how can we enjoy our very privileged lives over here while people are obviously fighting or trying to flee, etc. So, is there anything kind of people can do as individuals? Obviously, there's some people are set to be hosting refugee families, etc. What can kind of just us as individuals and individual human beings do, but also as football fans, is there anything we can do to kind of support it directly?
Yeah, but obviously not everyone has got limitless monies that they can donate, or are luckily enough in a situation to be able to host anybody. But just if anyone is hosting anyone in Bradford area, obviously, please feel free to get in touch with the Ukrainian community, and we're happy to help any way we can, even if it's just helping language skills or just getting people set up and set up and having an outlet for friends. But I think some of the key things is just to keep raising awareness, keep getting in touch with MPs and putting pressure on, because they can quite easily kind of fall off the radar and get distracted and not think about Ukraine. It's not the hot topic of the month, for example. So just keep writing those letters if possible. Any petitions to keep Ukraine. Obviously, Ukraine is getting a lot of support from the UK government, and it's cross-party support. So we're very grateful for that. But we need it to continue. We need the government to supply as much as they possibly can. So, and it's up to the public to show that that's what they want from their elected politicians. So I think that's the kind of main thing that we can ask for, and then just not to turn a blind eye to it. I know some of these images that we are seeing are absolutely horrific, and sometimes you just don't want to look at it. But we can't hide away from some of those horrors, and we need to keep sharing the story until it's over and those people have been brought to justice. So yeah, I think those are. I think join any events, like if we see any advertised at the Ukraine Centre, please come down, come support us, and we'd just be grateful for any support like that.
Yeah, very, very good points. And Mike, yourself, any kind of final advice and words?
Yeah, I think obviously Pete's covered most of the things there in terms of how people can support. I think the other big one, obviously, which Pete touched on at the end, was around supporting the events. I was going to ask people to keep an eye on the social media pages, in particular the Ukrainian Club on Facebook and also Twitter, and just sort of see what's going on there. And the Ukrainian Bantams DM is always open if people have got questions on how they can support or they want guidance on certain things. I've certainly had contacts where people are taking refugee families in. They want to know what sort of support is available to them. So yeah, like I said, just keep an eye on those pages. There's a lot of information coming out of those pages, in particular Ukrainian Club, around support and events. And yeah, just if you can, please support in any way you can. As Pete said, obviously, the smallest bit of help, it goes a long way. So yeah, anything is much appreciated.